HeartcraftPaper. Paper. Today's tutorial will be utilizing the pinwheel punch in order to make a beautiful wall decoration for a celebration, whether it be a wedding or a birthday. So first off, let me go over how the punch board works. You have an A section, an A groove, and then a B groove. And the difference between the two is in how the cut comes along on the piece of paper. You have from 3 inches up to 12 by 12 inches, so you can utilize a full sheet. And what I'm going to do today is I am going to utilize 2 12 by 12s and 1 6 by 6. I also have some flowers here that I'm going to utilize for the center portion of this, as well as 2 brads. Boy, it seems I'm dropping everything today, but 2 brads of the larger kind, a 1/8 hole punch, and just some regular twine, just to be able to hang my decoration on the wall. So what I'm going to do now is take my 12 by 12 and my 6 by 6 and start by punching. This just creates that nice little corner that you're going to utilize to make your craft. So now that I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and start with the 6 by 6. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to locate my guide and place it along the guide. And as you can see, this has a little piercing tool to hold the paper in place. Simply push down, take your rotary knife because it does move, and you have this little guide you're going to place into the groove for cutting. Just simply place, hold down, and cut. You're going to lift just ever so slightly to be able to turn your project and move it over. Now don't worry if your paper's not cut exactly to 6 by 6 or to the indicated size. What you can do is line up this little guide where the blade would normally fall into and cut along the side here. Okay, so gently remove your pinwheel and set that aside. Next we're going to do the 12 by 12, which I have cut to size, and again I am going to start with the A side and then I will go into the B side. And the reason for the 2 different cuts is, as you will see, there are 2 different cuts with the blade in the shape. And the secondary one, when we make our pinwheel, we're going to lay the secondary one right underneath so that it creates a nice little overlap without being so bulky. And as you can see, you have, if you were just going to make a simple 4 sided pinwheel, you can simply utilize this as such. But we are going on to the next step, and we're going to take our next sheet. And as you can see, I have a different groove here and a different guide on this side, and it will make a different cut on my pinwheel. Press down. And this is going to go right into the groove here and cut along the outside. Now, as you can see, this cut is very different than the one we had prior to. It allows a little bit more extension, and I will show you how that works once we start putting together a pinwheel. So let me go ahead and clean this up because it does leave a little bit of a mess, and you have your little storage unit built in. So the first thing I'm going to start with is my 6x6, and I am going to set it aside once I'm done. And the easiest thing to do is take your brad, and as you can see, I have a shiny side and a matte side. I'm going to start with, I want the shiny side to really show, so I'm going to put this on the back, place it down, and hold it. Now it's a little bit harder with the cardstock. You want to make sure you kind of roll it out a little bit so that it stays. Otherwise, it does have a tendency to come loose on you. Okay. Press down and you have your first pinwheel. So what we're going to do with the larger one though is, because I want the pink side to kind of show with a little bit of the white coming through, I'm going to place this face up, just as I did with the blue pinwheel, because I wanted the shiny side face up. So I will come through and place my brad on the back side. And as you can see, this one is this elongated cut. And then here I have my regular pinwheel cut, and I'm going to place that right into the brad. And as you can see, I have it kind of kitty corner, and I try to make it more centered so that way each one will form this nice round pinwheel. So what I will do is I will take the bottom one here, this bottom corner, and kind of lift, go through and lift, take this next corner and lift, and then finally this last one and lift. So I'm going to start with the top one. Let me start with this one so you can kind of see. I'm going to take this top from this side and start my way around. And you kind of want to be careful, otherwise this can come loose on you if you're not holding it down. And there you have your giant pinwheel. Let me go ahead and move this over carefully. I'm going to put together my rose bunch utilizing my hot glue gun. Just going to take some glue and put that on one of my rosebuds. And just kind of bring them together and let them set. And there you go, that'll be the center. So I want to figure where I'm going to make the top, because I want to have the kind of like a triangle shape with the flowers. So I'm going to utilize this one as the top, and I'm going to hole punch just right in the center so I can hang my centerpiece. Okay. And the next thing I want to do is I'm going to add some glue to the back and put this down. You kind of want to hold it just to let it set. Now just be mindful that it is metal and it is going to conduct some heat through it. So just be careful that you don't burn your fingers. And you want to hold that down so that it dries. Otherwise, it'll kind of lift off your paper. So now that these have kind of set somewhat, we are just gonna put a whole bunch of glue on the back and stick it down. I need a little more glue here. I'm gonna make sure I get it all well there. And put that down. And you want to hold that. Make sure that it doesn't come off. And there you have it. Now you have a small place to go ahead and cut some of your twine. And I'll cut in about a nice piece about this size. One of the things I have a tendency to do, I don't like putting it through and then tying it. I think it weakens the project a little bit because it has a tendency for the knot to kind of fall out. So I like to tie the knot first in this fashion so I can pull it nice and taut. Stick this portion through and then just create kind of a little loop. So that way my project doesn't fall and untie. And basically all I did was stick it through, pull the loop, and there you go. Now it's ready for hanging.